Hey guys, welcome back to the Harding Racing Shop. I'm Liz Vano, and I'm here with Gabby Chaves for another episode of Inside Harding Racing. So the last time we were here, we were getting ready to go out west to Phoenix, and now we're back. We've had Phoenix, Long Beach, and Barber. So Gabby, can you talk a little bit about what you've learned and what it's like being a part of the team for 3 race weekends in a row?
Well, it's our first time being out on the road for back-to-back race weekends with the whole team, the whole crew. And, we had our ups, we had our downs, but I think at the end of the day, what really stands out is that we've been able to kind of get back together at the end of kind of the whole stint and regroup, and we're just as strong as ever, and we've learned a lot together. So it's been great, and I think it's going to make us perform and gel a lot better coming up.
So before we were talking about going from an oval to a street course to an actual road course that's permanent. What was that progression like for you?
It's kind of the 3 different disciplines that we deal with in IndyCar, with oval racing, street course racing, and road course racing. So we kind of got an early taste of a little bit of all those 3, starting at Phoenix, going over to Long Beach, and then Barber. And it kind of gives you an idea of how the car is going to feel at each different track, and your weaknesses, your strengths, and what you can do to improve and move forward as the season progresses.
So we were there in Barber, and we had a rain delay. Can you describe the Barber race in one word for our viewers?
Wet.
All right, so now we've had about a week and a half to kind of take a deep breath and look forward to the Grand Prix, which is next week. But in the meantime, May started, and we've already had some testing, some media, and some events. Can you kind of walk through what the month of May is going to entail to someone who doesn't really understand that there's a lot more than just race day for the 500?
Well, a month of May it's kind of a season in its own, season within the season. And we start, May 1st, and we're already on track, and we're testing at the Speedway, and we have a lot of the media events. You kind of get the month kick-started with Rev Indy, as well as a lot of traveling to promote our Indy 500 race that's coming up. And there's a lot of parties, a lot of media stuff that we do, and it's fantastic because you start building up all the energy for one big moment as the Indy 500 takes the green flag.
And so with all these fun events and parties and talking to different sponsors and fans, how do you contain that drive that you have to have in order to get into the car for the Grand Prix and then also the 500?
I think you have to be able to shut it on and off. You have to be able to turn on kind of your media side of things when you're off track, be able to communicate and socialize with the fans and the sponsors and at all the media events, because this is just as big as part of racing as actually racing on track is. So, and then you have to be able to kind of get back into race mode and just focus on that, and then that's the priority when you're at the track. So you just have to be able to separate both things to do both well. You can't really be focused on both at the same time.
So now let's kind of move forward a little bit to the 500. This is your first time competing with a team that you've already raced with at a race. How is that going into the 500, knowing that you already know these guys already?
I think it's going to be great because every race that we've done so far this year, it's been our first time, but we get back to Indianapolis at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and this was our very first race together last year. We had a great result for our debut, a 9th place finish at the Indy 500. So we kind of get going back into testing and practice, basically picking up where we left off last year, and I think that brings a huge advantage to us over any of the other races that we'll do.
All right, so then our last question for the Inside Harding Racing. So you might not know this, but when the green flag drops at the 500 and you're turning left into turn 1, the fans are on their feet and everything's so electric. But for the Grand Prix, you're going in the opposite direction and you're making a right turn. So can you talk that through, like what's going through your mind when you're making that big difference at the same track?
Well, it's a bit interesting because in the back of your head, you know you're at the same track, you're at the same place, you're still crossing that yard of bricks at the finish line. But what separates both is obviously, well, you've got an oval and a road course, and you're going in opposite directions. But really what separates the Indy 500, not only from the road course, but every other racing event in the world and in the series that we have, is that atmosphere, that electrifying energy that you can feel even inside the car as the green flag drops and as you take that first turn over 200 miles an hour.
And you get to do that twice. So you beginning of May and at the end of May.
Absolutely.
All right, so thanks Gabby for joining us today for Inside Harding Racing, and we hope that you guys continue to tune in to all these videos. We'll keep producing them hopefully weekly throughout the season.